Hello and welcome back to NFTV Extra. Right, I'm going to come up with some statistical content on this channel. I'm going to try and create videos that are similar to what the Irish guy does on HITC Sport, but without the rants about Paul McShane, Jack Grealish, and the stale jokes involving priests whenever he mentions young players. Oh, and don't worry, these videos won't include those god-awful pleas to subscribe at the worst possible moment. Subscribe now if you haven't already. Don't worry though, Ramsey, you're still a friend of ours, and we've got no beef because Lee's a vegetarian, but still. That might have come across as a bit weird. But anyway, let's get on to the video. Now today, I have taken each member of the Newcastle United squad that has played at least one game this season and worked out the top 10 of those players based on the amount of points that they picked up in the 50 matches before they made their Newcastle United debut. Let's go. Joint 10th, Sean Longstaff, Jamal Lascelles, 69 points. Jamal Lascelles arrived at Newcastle United in 2014 alongside teammate Carl Darlow, and both were sent back out on loan back to Nottingham Forest, where they worked under former Magpies defender Stuart Pearce. For the vast majority of that loan spell back at Nottingham Forest, Lascelles picked up 69 points in the Nottingham Forest defence. He was a player that certainly had all the hallmarks of ready to make the step up to the Premier League. As for Sean Longstaff, now I know he's technically been a Newcastle United player throughout his career, but before he made his debut, he had loan spells at Blackpool and Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock, where he picked up 7 points from 5 games, and Blackpool, where he picked up an impressive 62 points from 45 games in League One. And then when he made his debut, he seemed to surprise everyone that he was actually capable of the Premier League. 9th place, Joe Linton, 70 points. The curious case of Joe Linton. The Brazilian forward had a season at Hoffenheim under now RB Leipzig manager Julian Nagelsmann, but he was playing in a completely different position to the way that he is being utilised at St James's Park. During his time at Hoffenheim, he played 35 matches and picked up 49 points. Prior to his move to the Bundesliga, he played for Rapid Vienna, and in his last 15 matches he picked up 21 points, accumulating 70 points in his 50 matches before his arrival on Tyneside. 8th, Alan Saint-Maximin, 71 points. Prior to his arrival on Tyneside, Alan Saint-Maximin spent quite a few years at OGC Nice in France. Nice won ASM. Some of that time was spent under Lucien Favre, who is now at Borussia Dortmund, of course. But in his last 50 appearances for the French club, he managed to accumulate 71 points. From his time at Nice, you can see how ASM gets his hard work ethic from, having previously been teammates with Hatem Ben Arfa and Mario Balotelli. Joint 6th, Fabian Schär and John Joe Shelvey, 74 points. Now we have some players with some senior international experience on this list. In the year or two before his arrival on Tyneside, Shelvey was somewhat in and out of the England setup, playing 5 matches and getting 12 points from them. But it was during his time at Swansea that he picked up the huge bulk of his points, where he gained 62 of them under Gary Monk at Swansea, as Swansea had their best ever finish to a league season the season before Shelvey came over to St James's Park. Schär, though, a mainstay in the Switzerland national side, and played in the World Cup just before he came over to join Rafa Benitez at Newcastle. In his last 50 matches before his Newcastle debut, he played 16 of those for Switzerland, picking up 37 points along the way from those matches. As for his club football, he played a part in Deportivo La Coruña's relegation season in 2017-18, playing 27 games and picking up only just 25 points. But before then, he was under Julian Nagelsmann at Hoffenheim, where in his last 7 games for Hoffenheim, he picked up 12 points, bringing it to a round total of 74. Joint 4th, Danny Rose and Valentino Lazaro, 78 points. Danny Rose, I'm sure you all know by now, former Tottenham and England left-back, in and out of the England setup, of course, having lost his place to Ben Davies in the Tottenham squad. In his previous 50 matches before coming to Newcastle, he played 4 of those for England, getting 7 points. And of course, he was used to be a mainstay in the Tottenham squad before being in and out of it under Jose Mourinho, where he's picked up 71 points from his 46 matches at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As for Lazaro, he's another mainstay in his national side, this time for the other side of the Alps to share. He plays for Austria. He's the first ever Austrian to play for Newcastle United. In his previous 50 appearances before his loan arrival at Newcastle, he's played 12 matches for Austria, picking up 26 points in those matches. Last season, he played for Hertha Berlin, under Paul Dardai, where he's picked up 29 points from 22 matches there. Of course, right now he is on loan from Inter Milan, and from the 16 matches he has played for the Italian side this season, he's picked up 23 points, bringing that to a grand total of 78 points. Moving into the top three. Third, Florian Lejeune, 79 points. Similar to Antoine Griezmann, Florian Lejeune made his name as a French international in the Spanish leagues. In his season before arriving at Newcastle in 2017, he was a rock at the back for SD Eibar in La Liga, helping them pick up a safe 57 points in a team that was expected to just stay up that season. Going back to the season before that, he was in the Spanish Segunda with Girona, where he picked up 22 points from his last 13 games there at that club, bringing his total to a tally of 79 points in his 50 matches before coming to Newcastle. Second, Jetro Willems, 93 points. One word to describe Eintracht Frankfurt's impact on the Bundesliga is inconsistent. Sometimes Eintracht Frankfurt hammer a season and qualify for Europe. The next season they can be battling relegation, sort of similar to what they're doing right now with poor form under Adi Hütter. Luckily for us though, Willems came off the back of a really good season at Eintracht Frankfurt and picking up 93 points in his last 50 matches for the Eagles. But with Hütter looking to change the formation this season, Willems lost his place out to Filip Kostic in their Frankfurt lineup and so found a home with Newcastle. Number 1, Miguel Miran, 100 points. Yeah, you might have expected this. Miguel Miran in a rather piss-poor league. Mind you, playing for a good team, but in a rather piss-poor league, generally surrounded by League One quality players, and then you might get a hidden gem somewhere of a brilliant player who is looking to go into their retiring home. Of course, he had a really good partnership with Josef Martinez at Atlanta United, and in his last 48 appearances for the club, picked up 98 points. The other 2 matches came with playing for the MLS All-Stars, 2 points from 2 matches. I know the MLS All-Stars only play in pre-season tournaments against big teams, but for the website that I used to get this stuff, they declared those matches as competitive matches. So I'm keeping them. So that is it. That is the end of the video. What do you think, guys? Let us know in the comment section below. What would you like me to cover next? Because the world is your oyster. I love going into the depths of numbers. I love getting lost in that little world of football statistics. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.